Hi everyone, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. My name is Dylan Pinatakan, and I'll be your first reporter for this presentation today. First, I want to apologize because um, pag kung napapansin nyo, hindi gumagalaw yung picture na nasa gilid ng screen kasi sira yung camera ko kaya hindi ako makapag-video. Kaya picture ko na lang yung nilagay ko. No, so for our topic for today, we'll be discussing the Unit 5, the conceptual analysis of sports as a human activity. This one is the part 1 because Group 4 will be discussing the part 2 of this topic. Now, before I officially start this report, let me first introduce to you the topics for this unit. So, first, we have the ethical dimensions and its subtopics. First, we have fair play and sportsmanship. Second, the justice and equality. Third, the role of competition. Now, the second topic, we have the social dimensions, and under it is the community and social cohesion, the socialization and life skills, and lastly, the social critique and change. Now, before we go deeper with the topic, let's first understand the main idea behind this topic. As we all know, sports are more than just physical exercises. They go beyond competition and athletic performance. Sports involve social, psychological, and cultural dimensions that shape how we think, feel, and interact with others. The conceptual analysis of sports helps us explore how sports contribute to human development, identity formation, and social interaction. It helps us see sports not just as a game, but as a reflection of human values and behavior. So let's start with the first part, the ethical dimensions of sports. What do we mean by that? Well, basically, the ethical dimension is about doing what is right. It is not just about playing to win, but playing with honesty, respect, and responsibility. You can think of it as the moral compass that guides every athlete, coach, and even the fans. It reminds us that sports are just not are not just about medals or trophies. It's also about how we play the game and how we treat others on and off the court. That's why values like fair play and sportsmanship are so important. Now that we understand what the ethical dimension in sports is all about, let's move on to one of its most important components, which is the fair play and sportsmanship. The fair play and sportsmanship promotes ethical behavior in sports by encouraging everyone to follow the rules, respect their opponents, and stay composed whether they win or lose. In simple terms, fair play means playing clean and playing fair. It's not just about following the official rules, but also about showing respect, honesty, and humility throughout the game. When athletes practice fair play, they show integrity by competing honestly, self control by managing their emotions, and graciousness by accepting both victory and defeat with respect. This attitude creates a positive and enjoyable experience for everyone, not just the players, but also the coaches, referees, and fans. Like, for example, in basketball, even if a player gets fouled hard, showing sportsmanship means not retaliating or are arguing with the referee. Instead, they keep their cool, accept the call, and continue playing. That shows the maturity, discipline, and true respect for the game. So, fair play isn't just about how skilled you are, It's about who you are as a player and how you carry yourself in and out of the game. Now that we've introduced what fair play and sportsmanship mean in general, let's take a closer look at the three key elements that define fair play. First, we have adherence to rules. These means playing by both the written and unwritten rules of the game. The written rules are the official ones like fouls, scoring, and time limits, while the unwritten rules are those acts of respect and courtesy that players follow out of good sportsmanship. Like, for example, in basketball, if your team is already winning by a large amount of gap and there are only a few seconds left on the clock, well, instead of going for another shot, players usually just hold the ball and let the time run out. That's an unwritten rule, a sign of respect toward the losing team. Next is integrity. Integrity means competing honestly and avoiding any unethical actions like cheating or doping. An athlete with integrity values honesty over victory. Even when no one is watching, they still choose to do what's right because they respect the game and themselves. And lastly, equality. Equality in sports ensures that all participants, regardless of gender, race, or background, have an equal chance to compete and succeed. Fair play isn't just about individual honesty, it's also about creating an environment where everyone is treated fairly and given the same opportunities to perform. In summary, fair play teaches us that real victory doesn't only come from winning the game, but from playing it with respect, honesty, and fairness. So that would be all for my part. So I'll be giving it to my to the next reporter. Thank you.
From now on, let's proceed to the second ethics of sports, which is sportsmanship. In the first bullet, respect for opponents. Treat opponents with fairness and kindness, avoiding trash talk or mockery. So, in this bullet explains that we need to respect our opponents so that they don't receive things that will hurt them and make them angry with you after the competition is over. Example ani kay sa basketball game. Mag-shake hands gyud ta before and after the game sa atuang opponents o sa mga referees. Biska na og kanang pildi ta. Second one is grace in victory and defeat. Win humbly and accept losses gracefully without excuses. So, this bullet explains that we as a competitor should accept the results in competition without blaming others. Example ani kay celebrating win without bragging someone ay kanang katong kontra nato. And another example is accept nato ang atoang kapildihan nga wala tay gina-blame, especially kana sa atong mga kauban nga sila hinungdan nga sa atong kapildihan, dili nato sila i-blame. Third one is self-control. Manage emotions like frustration and avoid arguing with officials. So, this bullet means that we, as a competitor, should control our emotions during or after the game. Example ani kay kanang respect kanang giangalan ta tapos dili ta ka angay sa ato ang kuan sa angal sa tuwa, so magkan lang ta, kalman lang ta kay para respeto po nato ang kuan nga dili ta makig-argue sa mga referees o sa mga officials. The fourth one is team spirit. Support teammates and maintain a positive team environment. This bullet means that we need to boost the confidence of our teammates even though they made mistakes during the game. Example ani guys kay sa basketball. Nakaisa ka kauban nga frustrated na kaayo sa iyahang dula kay lagi dili siya maka-shoot, dili siya maka-focus. So imong buhaton as a teammate, imong siyang i-help nga ma-boost ang iyang confidence para makatarong siya og dula hangtod sa mahuman ang game. And the last one is courtesy. show respect through gestures like shaking hands after a match. So this bullet me this bullet means that not just our opponent we should respect, but also the referees or judge who help to manage the competition. Example ani kay kanang na sa during the game na kay nakita nga kaan kanang opponent si mo nga na injured siya kay lagi prone siya sa injury, so imong gibuhat biskag kontra nimo siya, imo siyang tabangan para maka get over sa iyang injury. And another example ani is kanang mag shake hands ta sa referee after the game o sa mga officials kay dili tungod sa ila ha, dili na to madula ang isa ka competition. And from now on, let's proceed to combine concept. So, in fair play and sportsmanship, work together to create a framework for honorable and ethical conduct in competition. Sportsmanship focuses on the attitudes and behavior of competitors like graciousness, while, on the other hand, fair play focuses on the principles that guides the competition, like following rules. Because we all know that sports is governed with rules, and we should respect the rules of as rules in a sport. By applying these two ethics of sports, the competition will be fairly treated, more enjoyable without feeling of hatredness. And that's all of my part, and I will give the next slide to my co-reporter. Thank you.
Now, let's proceed to the next part. I am Hermione Rose Patindol, and I will be discussing about the justice and equality. But before that, let's define what is justice and equality. So, justice is doing what is right and fair. It focuses on correcting unfair system, removing discrimination, and giving each person what they truly need in order to have a fair chance. This means that justice is not just about treating everyone the same, but it is also about fixing what is wrong and helping those who have been disadvantaged so they can catch up. Justice looks at the situation of a person and gives them the support or resources they need to be equal with others. And equality. Equality is giving everyone the same right and same treatment, the same opportunities without bias or favoritism. This means that no one is treated better or worse than other just because of who they are. In, in equality, every person gets the same chance to join, participate, learn, and succeed based on their ability and effort. So justice and equality is in sport, it promotes fairness and inclusion by ensuring equal opportunities and rights for all, regardless of background. It address it addresses discrimination, gender and racial inequality, and expands access for marginalized groups. It means that sports should not only give everyone a chance to play, but also fix the barriers that make it harder for some people to join. Justice and equity work to remove unfair treatment and make sure that athletes of different gender, races, social classes, disabilities, or identities are respected and included. When sport practice justice and equity, the playing field become truly fair, where success is based on talent and effort, not on who you are or where you come from. So here are some of example. First, we have the gender equality. Gender equality is promoting equal representation, funding, and opportunities as seen in Paris 2024 Olympics. Both male and female athletes are given the same access to sport. This includes the equal pay, equal prize money, equal chance to compete, and the same level of respect. In Paris 2024, they worked to make the number of male and female athletes close to 50-50, which shows progress toward treating women and men fairly in sport. Second, we have racial justice. Athletes using their platforms to raise awareness about police violence and inequality. So this is when players speak out about issues beyond sport. They're using their fame and influence to call attention to social problems affecting racial groups, especially minorities. This is important because athletes can inspire millions of people and highlight unfair treatment that some races experience in society. And third, we have LGBTQ plus rights. Groups like Ally advocating for inclusion and equality in sport means that organizations fight for the rights of LGBTQ plus athletes so they can participate without discrimination. They work to remove hateful or unfair rules, educate sport communities, and make sport a safe place for everyone regardless of sexual orientation or gender identity. And we have community building. Sport uniting diverse groups, fostering trust, and reducing social stigma means that people from different backgrounds play or support sports together. They learn to understand each other better. Sport can connect people of different races, culture, ages, and social classes. This help build friendship, teamwork, and respect. Because of this, sports can lessen negative stereotypes and reduce discrimination since people see each other as teammates or supporters rather than different. And lastly, we have the adaptive sports, providing opportunities for athletes with disabilities. This means that creating sport programs, rules, and equipment that allow people with physical or mental disabilities to play sports too. Example, the wheelchair basketball, sitting volleyball, and the Paralympics. Adaptive sports make sure that disabilities do not limit a person from experiencing competition, teamwork, growth, and enjoyment. They also show that society and athletes with disabilities are just as talented, hardworking, and deserving as any other athlete. So this example shows that fairness in sport is not just about the game. It also includes fighting for human rights, equality treatment, and respect for all types of athletes. So, in conclusion, sports promote justice and equality by giving equal opportunities to all people, regardless of background. This includes ensuring gender equality by giving women and men the same presentation and support supporting racial justice by allowing athletes to speak out against discrimination and protecting LGBTQ rights so every athlete can participate without fear of exclusion. Sport also help with community building because they bring different groups together and reduce social stigma and adaptive sports provide fair access for athletes with disabilities. These actions help create a fairer and more inclusive sport world for everyone. So that's all about my part.
The role of competition. Competition in sports motivates the athletes or to improve, build skills, and show sportsmanship. Also encourage to excellence and recognition, but also should balance winning with personal growth. Through free competition, athletes can also learn about the discipline, hard work, and humility that go beyond the game. The first component of the role of competition, motivation and skill development, drives excellence. Competition pushes the athletes to harder and perform better also to enhance their skill. And also through training, practice, and learning, the athletes enhance their competence and confidence. Also through education, practice, and experience, the athletes become more capable and confident in their work. Second is increased effort. It boosts intensity and effort in game-like situations. Also, increased efforts leads to greater success to reach goals and one must increase efforts and persistence. And also, motivation drives the athletes to increase their efforts. The third is highlight weaknesses. Competing exposes area for further improvement and growth. Also to show and reveals the areas where we need to improvement. Second components of the role of competition. Character and life skills. Develop character. The competition is not only for to win or to lose but also teach us to become more virtuous like fairness, integrity, honesty, and perseverance. Teaches sportsmanship. Athletes can learn as sportsmanship not only victory and admitting the defeat, but also promote respect, fairness, and teamwork among the player. And also, the athletes can value the honesty and humility in competition. The third is foster resilience. Competition also help in facing challenges and build more strength and a growth mindset.
A pleasant morning to each and every one of us, especially to you, Sir Prox. I am Alivir Marquez Guzman from BPED 1A. So before I start, I just want to ask a question. Is competition always good, or it can sometimes hurt us? Well, let's find it together. So before I start, I just want to commend my previous co-reporter, Mr. Basilgo, for elaborating the first to third bullets of the rules of competition. So let's continue. Social evaluative aspects allows for social comparison, provides recognition, and encourages teamwork. Competition is more than just winning. It's a powerful social experience. First, it allows social comparison. This means athletes can get to measure their skills fairly against others under clear rules. Next, it gives recognition. Winning showcases excellence and earns respect from others. And finally, it encourages teamwork, even friendly, motivate teammates to train harder and support each other. So overall, competition pushes us to grow not just as athletes, but as members of a team. So let's proceed to the next bullet. Potential drawbacks and balance. Risk of excessive pressure, importance of process, and needs of balance. However, competition has downside. When there's too much pressure to win, athletes can experience stress and burnout, especially to the younger ones. That's why it is important to focus on self-improvement rather than just the outcome. A healthy mindset values growth and learning, not a win-at-all-cost attitude. So the best competition is not about defeating others, it's about becoming better than your past self. So in the end, competition can either build or break us, depending on how we see it. When we compete with balance, passion, and respect, every game becomes more than a match. It becomes a lesson in character and a growth. And that will be all for the rule of competition. Have a great day ahead. So I will give the screen to the next reporters. So that will be all. Thank you.
Good day, everyone. I am Alicia Pen Water. So today, I'm going to talk about the social domain. Social domain sports explain how people interact and are shaped by the sporting event. Sports don't just build our physical strength, they also shape our attitude, discipline, and values. Sports teach us teamwork, discipline, and belonging. When we train with others, we learn how to work together, mag-respect sa usap usap, at mag-follow sa mga rules. For example, in a dance team or basketball group, we need to cooperate, patient, and trust each other. Hindi ganun about sa team or the whole. Pero it also about learning life lessons like respect, friendship, and teamwork. The next topic is community and social cohesion. Community and social cohesion in sports means bringing people together through shared activities. Sports help unite different kinds of people, build friendship, and teach respect. When we play or cheer together, sports help break barriers and make our community more active and united. For example, sa barangay, basketball, isang dili sila magkaila, nagtinabangay gihapon sila para makadaog. Through that, people build teamwork, friendship, and sense of belonging. And that's all for my part. Now, I will give the time to my co-reporter.
Hi, I'm Jom Isalibo and I'm going to talk about the communities and social cohesion. It has 6 parts that explains how sports helps people to connect, work together, and build a stronger communities. It has 3 parts that explains how sports build communities and social cohesion, while the next 3 parts discuss the challenges and things to consider while doing it. The first part is creates shared experiences. Sports bring people together to enjoy the same event or game. Example, fans cheering for the same basketball team feel connected even if they don't know each other. Second, provide a common ground. Sports unite people from different backgrounds with a shared interest. Example, students from different sections joined one volleyball team and become friends. Third, encourage social inclusion. Sports programs welcome everyone, including those often left out. Example, a community football program includes players with disabilities. Despite its challenges and considerations. First, conceptual clarity. It's hard to clearly define what social cohesion means in sports. So programs can be confusing to plan. Example, some coaches focus only on winning instead of teamwork and bonding. Next, program design. Sports must be planned to promote unity. It doesn't happen on its own. Example is organizing mixed teams. Games helps players cooperate, not compete harshly. Third, focus on vulnerable groups. Helping vulnerable people is good, but we shouldn't forget to involve the whole communities too. Example, creating event just for at-risk youth is great, but including everyone builds wider understanding.
Hello everyone, I'm Clarice Naragia Pinturin. I'll explain to you the socialization and life skills. So in sports, we learn important social and emotional skills like teamwork, discipline, and respect. These lessons help us face real-life challenges with confidence and maturity. And when we work with teammates, we practice cooperation and communication. And by following rules, we build self-control and fairness. For example, a basketball player learns teamwork and communication, while the team captains develop leadership and responsibility. Sports also teach us how to manage our emotions, accept defeat, and work well with others. That's all. Thank you.
This morning, everyone. I am Chloe Camilotes Asombrado, and I will be continuing the reporting of my co-reporter, which is the socialization and life skills. So, it allows for social comparison. Competition lets athletes measure their skills against others under the set rules. So, competition siya nga maka-help sa mga athlete like us. At I am also an athlete nga to compare, makumpara siya sa uban o kanang ahalang siya kutob, ahara kutob ang iyang abilities. And also makita nila kung unsa pay need to improve, like for example kanang need i-improve sa iya kay daghan kaayo, so makita bito nato nga aha ang kutob lang niya aron matabangan bito siya to improve iyahang kaugalingon or iyahang mga skills. And it provides recognition, winning showcase excellence and earn social recognition. Kung makadaog makita man jud nato nga kanang kung makadaog makita jud nato ang kakusog sa kana nga team or sa kana nga person. And then maila-ila sad sa uban kung unsa ka maayo nga kana nga team or kana nga tawo. Ug makadawag gyud og kanang like praise bitaw sa uban tawo nga hala kana nga team is very kuan, like let's just say for example ang Creamline is very strong team sa volleyball, and ginaingon po na sila nga very undefeated nga team. Samot na si Eliza, known kay si Eliza for her kuan kanang very strong, very talented, very sporty nga girl. Kay dili lang tanan bitaw niya gamit is kusog nga hapak, but ginagamit sa niya ang iyahang utok-utok yun basta when it comes to volleyball. So, known kay siya ana for her skills. And the third one is it encourage teamwork. Friendly competition motivates teammates to improve. Kanang competition, it is a competition nga makatabang siya nga magtinabangay ang usa ka team to aim that goal, or to aim nga unsa ilang gusto ma-aim. Kay bisag kita, if we have kanang natay team, mag-aim jud ta nga to win or makadaog yun. So kanang magdinasigay lang ang matag usa, or hatagan og salig ang matag usa bitaw, aron mas mutaas bitong ilang confident o mutsada po ato ang performance as a team. And that will be all for my parts. That will be all. Thank you.
Good day, everyone. My name is Emmanuel Zetier, and I'll be reporting in social dimensions about social critic and change. In our society, we can see challenges. We can see challenges in our society like gender inequality and racism. So through sports, they provide a platform where they can reflect the social challenges our community facing right now, and they use their influence to question norms and inspire change. So in social critic in sports, through sports, they mirror the inequalities present in society. For example, the racial inequality. Minorities remain underrepresented in leadership roles despite strong athlete participation. And another example is gender inequality. Like sa women National Basketball Association, they pay gaps like different ang ilang payment and limited media coverage, dili kay sila nga nakasikat, and fewer resources for women's sport. And another is commercialization. Ang focus nila is ang profit ra, dili ang like through sport, like sportsmanship, like the essence of sport, like profit ra ilang gina goal. And sa social inclusion, like nayo ba niya dili gina include or gina-include nila like dili significant inana. And without intentional inclusivity, sports can reinforce class, origin, and ability-based division. So, and here we have sports as a catalyst for change. Athletes and sports have driven significant social change through various forms and activism and initiatives. And these catalysts, they initiate for change in our society through sports. So here we have athlete activism. High profile athletes use their platforms to raise awareness. Since they have big influence in our society. They use their influence in order to make a change. So here, examples of athletes, we have Jackie Robinson sa Major League Baseball in 1947, a pivotal moment in the U.S. Civil Rights Movement. We have Muhammad Ali, yung anti-war stance during the Vietnam War and World War II. And another is Tommy Smith and John Carlos raising black gloved fists on the podium at the 1968 Olympics to protest racial injustice. And we have here Colin Kaepernick. He kneeled down during the national anthem to protest police brutality and systemic racism, sparking a global conversation. And WNBA players dedicating their seasons to social justice messages such as the Black Lives Matters and the Say Her Name campaigns. And here we have policy and programmatic change. Advocacy by athletes and social movements, this led to concrete changes. For example, we have Title IX from US, expanded women's access and participation in sports and education. And we have here Venus Williams. She championed equal prize money at Wimbledon, inspiring similar reforms. Sports for social change initiatives. NGOs and groups like UNESCO use sports to advance health, education, equality, peace, and inclusion at the grassroots level. And shifting public opinions. Sports and athletes advocacy can unite nations, challenge stereotypes, and inspire future generations by promoting teamwork, discipline, and fairness towards a more equitable society. And that's it for my part. And thank you.
So, sana may natutunan kayo sa presentation na ito, no? So, now that we understand that sports are not just about winning or losing, it's about learning fair play, justice, equality, and respect for others. Through sports, we develop discipline, teamwork, and friendship with the people around us. Sports have the power to change lives and inspire others. It teaches us to stay humble in victory and strong in defeat. It's not only about being the best, but about becoming a better person while doing what you love or what we love. Yeah. So let's remember in every game, every win, and every loss, what truly matters is what we learn and how we grow as individuals and as a team. So thank you so much. So I'll end it with a quote saying, "Sports reveal the ethical, social, and emotional dimensions of humanity. It is not just about winning, but about becoming better together." Thank you, and that would be all.